I'm on the way. Hey, that everybody doing today? Today we going live again. Thinking game number
Oh, what's up?
75.
75.
Trying to do our back end work real quick. All right,
See
there we
what's
go.
happening in the world today. A live take.
Let us know in the comments if you hear something we talking about that you want to hear about. Now let's do the slideshow. We are giving insight to the youth and middle-aged viewers about the corporate landscape, and the thinking game of decision making as an adult. Learn about life before you about. So, man, how'd your week go this week, man?
Good. Another day, another dollar. Hustle and bustle. Trying
Man,
to get out of it. So,
boy, one day. Do you believe you can get out of the hustle and bustle? That's the question. Do you think people believe they can get out of it? Because I have this theory that if you don't believe it, you probably won't even try to do it if you don't believe
you got to believe it, visualize it. Make yourself a vision board or whatever you respond to as motivation.
it. Yeah.
Um, and it's the wish. It's a wishing method. You know what I mean? I just wish, everything will turn around for me.
I wish, I wish.
And a prayer is always good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think you can get nowhere without it. But then it's the setting yourself apart portion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's going to make me unique? What's going to make me better? What's going to increase my skill set? You know what I mean? Are people going to pay for my skills? Do I
Yeah.
have the right combination of skills? Marketability. You know what I mean? What am I going to do to put myself out there? I know a lot of people who get degrees and skills and things like that, but they don't want to shop their resume around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a credit.
You ever heard of Arkansas Money and Politics magazine? You ever heard of AMP or something like that? To be on LinkedIn. I was walking through downtown before I picked the kids up, and I picked up a magazine to skim through it. When I say all of the people that worked in banking, insurance, financial planning, all of it, all of them, 98, probably 9% of them had a degree, bachelor's degree, and probably 80% probably had like master's. You know what I'm saying? All of them was rolling. I'm pretty sure most of them was rolling. You know, and I think people don't realize that. I think some people just don't believe it that they get a degree, but they got their degree in like business finance or something like that, or finance and administration. Just the different schools offer different ones in business. You got to depend on which school you go to. But that's why I asked if some people believe, because some people believe I don't need to go to school to get there, and they'll realize to get to that kind of level where you're a vice president, you won't even sniff that if you don't got the education behind you. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And that's not the end all be all. That's not the
It's
golden
not.
ticket.
No. It's a
There's
good
other
start.
ways. There's other ways to skin a cat, right? You know what I mean? But sometimes they're harder. But you gotta, skin the cat from outside of the house, and the cat's on the inside. But you gotta think about that. Saying that now in this day and age is like saying, I think I can do it without graduating high school. I think I can do it without going to the ninth grade, or
Yeah.
just skip junior high. And
Yeah.
that sounds ridiculous to everybody who did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's kind of how it sounds. I mean, I'm gonna be a millionaire without doing these things. That's just a regular thing. That's just the price of admission nowadays. Your high school diploma. Um, basically, sometimes it's hard to get when you're in that situation, but it's really not cutting it. You're really
Yeah.
not getting the jobs or the careers you really want.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yes, it's very possible to do it with that. You know what I mean? But
Like, do our
just
culture
like when you,
believe? Do our culture believe they can be vice presidents and CEOs, or do you think that's like a far fetch?
well, maybe I don't think maybe that route. I mean, maybe the more corporate or structured uniform route. They don't think they can do it without that, but maybe there's some other route. When you see so many other people successful going outside the box, you know what I mean? Well, maybe I can do it too. But everybody can't be a celebrity or influencer or professional athlete. You know what I mean? We all have a chance in high school and junior high, little league sports. You know,
And all the kids realize, like, when you see a high school football team now, how many people do you think on that team realistically got a chance to go pro when you look at a high school football team?
I mean,
Maybe
most of
one
the
or two,
sidelines full.
maybe one or two players at best. Like
And
if
when
you
you
go to
look at it
Central,
like
like
that,
if you just look at Central, just randomly go to a Central game and look at all the high school players they got, how many do you realistically got a chance to go pro?
sometimes realistically, just make it to the next level of college. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's an
yes,
elimination process, and it's like kind of winning the lottery. And when you think about degrees, matter of fact, when you think about school, when you look at your school, the first class, like how many of these people are going to graduate?
that's true.
I went to a lot of schools where the people didn't even really graduate. They went to school every day and they didn't graduate. You know, I barely made it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
did. I made it, but I played around at the end. Just
yeah, I know,
got
right?
too
And
like, man,
when you
boy,
look at that, like you know, the CEOs looking with their masters or you know what I mean, their PhD, they look back on their bachelor's like, well, that's just something you got to get. That's just something you do. You go to college in 4 years, you pop out with a bachelor's. That's how they think because we think a high school like that when we think back. We went to a place every day for 3, sometimes 4 years, and you know we popped out with a degree. You know what I mean? But when you
yeah,
think back when you were really in it, you know what I mean? The struggle was hard, fighting, you know, surviving, staying focused, trying not to get pregnant, trying not to get somebody pregnant. You
boy.
know, worried
Yeah,
about high school prom and
we're gonna talk
you know
about that later
dances.
too. Yeah, talk
So
about it later. How the circumstance can affect your belief, your environment can affect your belief. But yeah, let's get into the podcast. Let me see what we get. Adult decisions. Thinking under uncertainty. That means you don't know what the next step is gonna be. Not fully knowing something, but thinking your way through it. I think a lot of people that grow up in the inner city go through this. Um, Thinking through uncertainty, like I don't know what the next move is. I really don't know what the next move is. But now, as like I said, you got more research now. There's more things out there now. Um, 10, 15 years ago, you kind of had to kind of learn through example, but there wasn't a lot of examples because everybody moved away. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
when
when
you
you
get
live,
a certain level of success, you getting your kids out the hood.
yeah,
Maybe you're a CNA, you finished nursing school, you're moving out the hood. You know, you worked at a bank, you got a position, you from a cashier
yeah,
or a teller to a loan officer. Then you got your
boy,
degree, you're moving out.
boy. And then kids don't know, like when you're an administrator or a principal, it's actually, we look at it like they the feds or something. You know what I'm saying? But we don't think about like a career position. It's actually a really cool, you know what I'm saying, as far as financial wise and career wise. That's actually, you at close to the top of the heap. You know what I'm saying? If you're a principal, not
Yeah.
everybody could be a principal. Even with teachers now, they salary starting to, get a little better. You know what I'm saying? With teachers.
But we knew that the administrators was different. A lot of administrators was
Oh yeah,
Dr. Charles or Dr. Branch or Dr. Carter.
yeah,
You know, they pulling up to a junior high with a Jag, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
for
And
sure.
all the teachers got, you know, Honda Civics, you know what I
Boy,
mean?
yeah,
Uh, but you got,
that's
you know,
true.
Mercedes, you got, well, that's my second car, you know what I mean? So
Boy.
we should have been taking those hints. You know, they
Yeah, exactly.
my teacher, my vice principal is a man. He wearing red bottoms. Like, what's going on? Like,
You talking about where about them women's shoes?
I mean, that me got red bottoms too. So
Do they? I didn't know that. Okay.
I didn't either until I seen him
Okay.
the,
I thought you were
on
talking
the
about the
assistant
rainbow.
principal.
I thought you were talking about the rainbow for Pause on that.
Was you
All
know
right.
talk.
Our next topic is there are people who have to win on their own terms, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I
Yeah,
think sometimes people can mix this up with racial lines and racial divides, but I've seen it happen to even everybody, not just black, but white, brown. I've seen it happen to everybody. And sometimes you run into people like this, where you're looking for a job or something, They're trying to see if you can fit into their terms of how they want to win. It's kind of like on a college team. We know people that's good on the street, but if they come play football in high school, the coach won't put them in because that's not how he want to do it. Same way in the corporate world. You could be good, but you don't fit the terms of what the manager want on his team. You don't want to win like that. You know what I'm saying? It got to be his way. Even in life, some people, man, if you cross them, they got to shoot you. That's how they got to do it. It's on their terms. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the end of those terms, you'll get some time in jail. But that's just how they roll. They got to do it on their terms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they just didn't get their job. They just lost their job. I think I can dress this way. I think I can still smoke crack, and they won't catch me. Because I don't look like it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be my own type of man. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you just end up unemployed or in jail sometimes. You know what I mean? Because you're cold. I think we talked about codes before. Some people got a code of honor, mental code. If they're not discriminating against you, you know what I mean?
Right.
You got to sometimes got to do it their way.
And if
they
somebody
can fire
say,
you for how your hair is, but
here's the deal: if you start dancing around with drugs, especially like crack, anybody that's doing it, young people, listen to Gloria Estefan. The rhythm is gonna get you. That's kind of how the thing go. You keep dancing around with it, the rhythm is gonna get you every time, man. Keep playing around with it if you want to.
I can stop anytime. Like,
after a while you start dancing. Like, why am I dancing?
Just be leaning.
Oh man. And then another thing, we just we kind of heard this. What was her name? Brittany Renner. Trying to compare herself to Derek Jeter. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So let's listen to this real quick.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear it?
I can't hear nothing.
Okay, let me start over there. I thought you could hear it. Man, listen, man. You can't. I don't know why people be doing that, man. All right, here we go. Can you hear now?
Now.
Huh.
We are having technical difficulties. But things are different for different people, and your consequences is gonna be different.
All right, can you hear it now?
There was the Derek
Jeter
Diamond. That's what my like.
It's kind of low.
Derek Jeter gets a segment on ESPN where they have his dating history and the. Let me finish though.
No, I ain't saying nothing.
You were thinking it. You were thinking it.
I'll get some water because I'm sweating.
Because
I think it's because it's on TikTok.
It's all good.
I mean, my God, impressive. If I'm judged for having great taste, although someone like Derek Jeter, for example, who had his dating diamond, there was.
So she thinks because Derek Jeter can do something, she can do it. She said she was. If Derek Jeter can have a dating diamond, why she can't have a dating diamond?
I gotta say, Derek Jeter diamond look good. There's some people bucket list, they wish list. They can do that and be done with life. They done. You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna say I'm out the game. I've been married for 11 years. I'm out the game. My jersey in the Raptors somewhere. It's hanging up in the Raptors somewhere. Here's the thing, right? With somebody. What was the topic again? People have to win on their own terms, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. The thing is, sometimes you fight for relative to be relevant. If you don't have any substance and you accidentally get into fame, now you have to figure out how to stay relevant. To me, it's like a rabbit hole. Where do you go from here? If you say you did, you've been with 30-some people, where do you go from here? What do you say after this?
Making some videos. Making
realistic. Go ahead. And then realistically, what do what do you think dudes are going to expect after they hear this? Like, how do they look at you now? You know, like not from a perception standpoint, from an expectation standpoint. Like, what what is a dude gonna, what's gonna go through his head now when he sees it? You know what I'm saying?
You know, I don't think 35 is a lot. You're dating people. She's trying to find the one. She's done some questionable things in other people's opinion. You know what I mean? But she got paid. She did things in her life when she was younger. 35 is really not that much. Like if we really look at some of these guys, she looked at Derek Jeter. Why can't she be proud of it? You know what I mean? But you don't see Derek Jeter bringing that up about himself.
Yes, I'm about to say you never heard Derek Jeter say that out. No, he just said they said that.
Yeah,
matter of fact, you don't even know if it's all the way true. That's just what they said. But she said it out her own mouth. She said it out of her own mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I think you can respect some of that honesty. Like even with Lori Harvey, when people talk about her dating history and this and that, she's trying to find love, happiness, whatever she's trying to find, entertainment, sugar daddy, whatever your motivation and goal in life. You know what I mean? You should go for it. It seems like she's enjoying herself. Some people say, she having fun, or, maybe she's looking for love in all the wrong places. We all need therapy for something, but we can't, say like 35 is a lot. These people are famous. They're handling their business because they got money. They can do what they want to do.
You know what I mean? It's not repercussions that come with it.
Oh, it's repercussions to everything. And everybody's going to have their opinion. If you only drink water and don't drink soda, people going to have the opinion about you. You know what I mean? Or you're a vegan. People going to have a negative opinion or positive opinion about you. So that's going to happen anyway. So you can't do something like have 35 partners and say that and not think people are going to jump on it. You know what I mean? Even as a man, you know what I mean? But I think everybody should take account themselves. Like how many bodies really do I have? You know what I mean? So before you cast judgment on her, a lot of y'all be like, well, I got more than that, but I would never say it publicly. You know what I mean? And stop being ashamed of yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's tough, man.
If they say he got 100 bodies proven, he got way more than that. It's 365 days in a year. I think this is always blown out of proportion. Just be. You don't have to share everything. Some stuff is too much information. You know what I mean?
When you think about, I think it's more of the details that it's like, okay, 35 people. It's, I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there, but I'm saying like the details of it. Just like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But, hey man, that's up, man. I'm just saying like sometimes people try to stay relevant and they try to say the most craziest things
for the shock value. You know.
Yeah, and then they don't realize once the shock value's gone, what do you have left?
I mean, you gotta first of all, you gotta debate whether anything anybody says in front of a camera is true. I don't care about the bodies. You know what I mean? I just care about safety. Like, did you do 35 unprotected? You know what I mean? That's just I don't trust 35. I can't name 35 people that I trust good enough to swap DNA with. You know what I mean?
That's a lot. You know what I mean? Not looking at it from a judgmental standpoint, I'm just saying, you put 35 people in the room, that's a lot of people.
I mean, but at one time, you know what I mean? You put 35, take it like this. You put 35 hamburgers on a table, that's a lot of hamburgers. But in a lifetime, that ain't that many. You know what I mean?
You're not that old, though. In one lifetime.
I've eaten 3 hamburgers in a day. You know what I mean? But I don't eat 3 hamburgers every day.
She like in her 30s or something?
Yeah, and guess what? She looked better than some people in their 20s. You know what I mean? Hey, and she had 35 bodies. What's their excuse? You know what I mean? Like,
man.
Maybe,
a lifetime.
Maybe you need to get 35 bodies instead of 35.
40 years. She ain't even reached midlife yet. Man, that's crazy.
But look how low that. Well, I know you don't start having sex at 1, but there's only one person per year of your life. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's that much. You know what I mean?
Oh man, let us know in the comments
But
what you
I
think
think
about
it's
that.
too much shaming going on. Like, I think that I used to think that's like a comment, maybe kind of a normal question, but now with so much judgment, you be crazy
So
to
what
answer
is
that
what is
question if
judgment
somebody
and
asked you that.
object? What is judgment and what is objectivity? Like if somebody say anything, they're judging. If somebody say anything, they're shaming. That's what I don't get. Like there, you just can't say it was something with objectivity. I mean, being objective about it. You know what I'm saying? But everything is judgment. If you say anything, it's judgment and shame. Like I
But I
don't.
mean, people basically, if it's negative, it's criticism and it's harmful to the person. Um, if
But
you
they put it
saying
out there.
anything,
Yeah, they put it out there though.
but if
What
you're
do you put it
saying
out there for?
if you're saying anything but go girl, you're a hater.
That's crazy.
Uh,
Yeah, that's the world we living in now. Though.
but I mean, even as a man, you don't like, that's something.
Yeah.
Really, I think you're entitled to know whether a person is safe, or healthy. If you're going to engage in sexual acts, if you want to just, tell your friends, you can tell them, I guess. But it ain't really no use for that. I would rather tell me, you tell me your heartbreak count. How many times you had your heart broke? How many times have you been abused? How many times? Because that leaves a mental and emotional, spiritual scar on a person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's going to affect your relationship more than how many people that person has had sex with. To me, your credit score, that count is going to kind of tell me a little bit more about your personality and our long-term mating and companionship
Yeah.
capabilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't ask those questions, but everything is off the table now.
Man.
But then we supposed to be brave and you know what I mean and all this stuff like that. So
Put 35 burgers on the table. And you see if you can fit that on the table and see how that's put.
35 burgers on the table. That's gonna look. You got one
Oh
right here,
man.
one right here, like you know what I mean, like just
Pause.
yeah,
Oh
exactly,
man.
very, but
Oh man.
but that's
That's
even if
good.
somebody said I can count on my hand the amount of people I've been with, but you put them 5 people in the room surrounded the bed, that's gonna look
Man.
crazy too. So you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. Yeah, man.
Um,
All right, let's go into corporate take. I think people need to understand this term. I seen this on an article. Income mobility, the ability of individuals to move up or down the income ladder over time. Factors that affect income mobility, such as education, access to opportunities, and economic conditions. So pretty much, when you see a job that has a big range, they say, "We got a job. The range is from 31 to 97K salary." the, the chances of you getting to that salary range is probably that's probably mission impossible.
to get
You
that
may
30,
get to 40.
to get
You
the
may
90,
yeah,
to get that
31 and
90.
that's like a game show, man. How long it take you to get to 97K? Starting off at 31. There's a lot of jobs like that though, man.
You're gonna go in the interview, hoping for the 97, and then they're gonna open the little mystery box. Oh, 42. You almost made it. You know what I mean? You can work your way up, but what they don't say that's education based, experience based, and all that stuff. They're gonna say that, or they not gonna say that. You get the job and they offer you 31.9. You know what I mean? But I thought you said if I had a good resume, you know what I mean, and blah blah blah.
Can you see that, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do this. Let's see. I'm gonna find one for you. I can find one for you. What's this? Hotline operator for the state. What salary range? I just got the beginning salary. They used to have a whole salary on some of them, but I think they took it away. I
Because
know
they
it's
don't want people to have false hope.
Oh, that's not bad. But that's you working for the jail. 61,000. Is that worth 61,000? Working at the Department of Correction, licensed certified social worker.
Yeah,
Look
you
at
go
that. 50 to 72,000. That's the salary range. 50 to 72. But they start you off at 61. And
how do I get to 70? You know what I mean? That's the magic
yeah,
question.
if you can get to 70 though, that's the thing. Because I
I
don't know
mean,
if they still give out raise. Some places in the state, you don't even get a raise when you start. That's what you when they lock you in at 61. That's where you at. You don't move up no more unless you
you got to
find
do
another
something.
position.
You
Yeah,
got
you
to
got to
do
get you got to get a
you got
whole
to do
nother
something
position.
phenomenal to, you know what I mean, to get that.
Yeah,
Most of the time, you got to do something phenomenal to get like 5 stars on your evaluation, and it's only, you know, the maximum is 5.
yeah. Look at that prosecutor coordinator, 50,000 to 65,000. That ain't even that much. And you still probably won't get to that 65.
You know,
And they want you to have a
making more.
JD. Go ahead.
Exactly, you making, you know, almost the same amount as this of the prison guards. You know what I mean? And they come
What?
in. When they leave, they got less bodies than they came in with. I mean, they got more bodies than they came in with.
Yeah, and y'all don't forget to go to the channel, man. Hit the like and subscribe button. Go to our YouTube channel. We are at 144. Help us get to 1K. What's the names at the bottom? Twitter, CTM TV Little Rock. Instagram, CTM TV Little Rock. YouTube, CTM TV Little Rock. Make sure to go like, share, and subscribe there. Back to what's the slides? Go back to the slides real quick. Now we're going to the tech section. Using tech to pay bills and keep track of the budget. How many people you think really do that? They use tech, like let's say if you use like Google Sheets or Excel spreadsheets to keep up with your budget, so you can know how much you're spending, and you can know what not to spend. How many people you think do that? If you do a percentage, how many people you think do that?
I mean, I
Because
think it's a
Google
lot
Sheets is free. It's free. Google Sheets is free, and it auto save. Oh no, you know what I'm saying? You know, you put the formulas.
But a lot of people use iPhones, and everything costs on the iPhone.
What's that? No, Google Sheets is on the internet. You just log into
I mean,
Google.
that's internet, yeah, but
yeah.
Most people use Macs. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can use Google later, but I don't know. A lot of people just use Sheets. I mean, maybe they use auto pay or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or auto draft. They use technology in that capacity.
No, I'm talking about before you get it drafted out. Like, see if you can see how much you really spend in a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think people are using those resources. You know what I mean?
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. So you can be accountable. Like, okay, I need to stop spending right here. I need to cut back on this. Because you know, you hear a lot of people say middle class is dying. I think though a lot of people don't want to scale back. It's not as dying. It's like people living beyond what they get paid. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, I guess, I don't know, feel better about things. I guess, but
well, where you live, like maybe the medium class income is still the same, but you know where they're living in the houses that they consider middle class houses, nobody wants to live in there. I'd rather be struggling on the bottom half of high end, the bottom tier of high end, than living comfortably in the middle of middle. You know.
Yeah, because the average house, new house now, what about 300,000 now, somewhere in there?
Boy,
the average new house, if you get a new house built in a subdivision, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, man, use tech to pay your bills, man. Just look at all your bills. Make sure you got everything, accounted for, so you can know where your money going, man. So you don't have to live check to check. You can try to avoid it as much as you can.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what? I got that text message that I'm in the negatives. You know what I mean? That's just depressing. You know what I mean? I gotta eat ramen noodles till payday.
Boy, it ain't enough flavors now, man. We had all the flavors of ramen noodles. What's your best flavor of ramen noodles?
I don't know. Probably chicken.
Chicken.
I don't like beef, depending on what I'm cooking. I like to mix something up in there. You know what I mean? So I make some.
Either for me, like chicken.
I'll make some poor man spaghetti. You know what I mean? Put some ragu in that thing.
You want heartburn? I did it with Alfredo one time. I made some Alfredo.
Yeah,
pretty cool. do with the red sauce though, man. It's really heartburn, man. Then with the braces, I had to chill out because they said it sting your teeth. So I was driving the family crazy. They would eat spaghetti like I can't eat it because it's gonna stain the teeth. All right, what's the next slide? Outside the box. Does a person's circumstance affect their beliefs of being greater? Or is it a mindset that propels a person to be greater?
I think thinking about it's a mindset to propel somebody to greatness is like a myth and an excuse, right? Like, so people who in a situation, well, I just ain't got that mindset. It ain't in me. You know what I mean?
Right.
All the stuff that happened, it just ain't in me.
It's easy for you to do.
Exactly.
Easy for you to do.
I mean?
Yeah.
You just got the dog in you. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't Rick Ross. Everybody ain't hustling. I'm not Jay-Z. We tend to put those people on a pedestal and give them capes because they worked hard or they achieved something. Well, I can't get a degree. Well, I'm just regular. You know what I mean? So I think saying it's a mindset or what's the name is some kind of sometimes used as an excuse. And sometimes your situation kind of does make you feel like you can't attain this, or every time you try to go up, the situation hits you over the head. Not realizing the situation is hitting over. Life be lifing for everybody.
Right.
You know, they just overcame, and you just got to maybe slow and steady. Maybe your pace isn't their pace.
And this is why I tell the young people, you have to be smart when you're younger, smart as you can, or even have somebody that mentor you about making choices as an adult. Because you can make a choice in 2023 that when you get to 2025, it eliminates some choices from you by a choice you made in 2023.
Man, 2023 can mess your 2044 up. You know what I mean?
Man, for real.
Because
for real.
When you think about living, you keep living, you'll live to a time that you didn't think you was going to be alive or you didn't even account for.
Right.
You know what I mean? One day you're 20, make some couple decisions.
Man.
You look down at that baby you had, and that baby's 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're way up in 2045 or 2040 or whatever we are. And the decisions you made are kind of handicapping you. We don't judge you by your decisions, but it's a price for them. Like running that credit card up, that debt just doesn't disappear. You're going to be accountable for your foolish financial decisions. You know.
And it's for your life decision, you're going to have to pay a price. I had to pay a price. I'm sure Jay had to pay
I'm still paying
price.
on my price. You know what I mean? From the choices I made. So, and then another thing too, situations. People blame situations that they have no control over. Sometimes one conversation with a mentor, an older person, older people don't always know what they're talking about, but just a mentor, somebody who's been there, could have helped you not fall in that hole. You know what I mean? They could be like, young fella, don't do this. I fell in that hole. This is what happened to me. Oh, like I was just about to do the same thing. Thanks for looking out, OG. You know what I mean? Thanks for this or that. You know, or maybe they see you fall and, you know, it's like, well, I'm going to do this for you. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you an extra shift or whatever they give you to keep you out of that situation. You know, maybe it's getting married too early. You know what I mean? You know, I've been working and young ladies just came to me. I just turned 21. I can drink now. I think I'm ready to have my first child. So that. All right. Okay. You know, this could happen. I don't want to be a hater, but like this was what happened, and this is somebody that happened to. This is you know, people can show you with the internet. You can see decisions, outcome of other people who made the same decision you're going to make or you're about to make. They made it 10 years ago, and you can really see the outcomes and the effects. You know, look at the statistics. You know, or stuff like that.
Man, you got to make good choices best you can. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, ask. Don't be afraid if they tell you. You know, some people don't want to ask the question because they think you're going to tell them, no, don't do it. Then they don't want to hear that. So.
Yeah, and sometimes people, like, you know, some successful people monetize everything. They gatekeep their knowledge, you know what I mean? Because they know how valuable it is. You know what I mean? But you you're gonna get some OGs in there like, hey man, I give you the game or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I was a young man like you, I was a young woman like you know what I mean? I was trying to get I was the first black woman that was a supervisor, and they see another black woman, they might try to, give them some free game or free advice or whatever like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some stuff you gotta pay for. You can't, take that for free. Then it's like, well, I had to get it from the mud myself. And I bought books, so you're gonna have to buy a book, or you're gonna have to buy my book. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's their hustle.
Right.
They know what they have is valuable. You know what I mean? And they're charging for it. And I don't see anything wrong with that either.
So realistic or cap? This is our next section. Realistic or cap? Jealousy comes when a person feels like you did not take the same path or road that they took.
Some forms of jealousy come like that, you know. What I mean? And you can turn that into admiration and inspiration. You know what I mean? They can inspire you, but you can see them and just hate them like that. You know what I mean? I had to do it the hard way, and you see that lately with Coach Prime. You know what I mean? He's doing things a different way.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? And he really doing the thing. He led by example. He went to college. He was a star in college. He excelled in college. He excelled in the pros, Super Bowls, Pro Bowls, Hall of Fame.
He got his degree too from Talladega University, HBCU. He got his degree too.
Also,
HBCU.
Yeah. And then what he did, he marketed himself. He did all that stuff, and then he went back to give back. He didn't really want to coach. You know what I mean? He started coaching his kids, and also with his coaching, he's being a mentor. He's motivating his kids and basically motivating the whole nation at this point. Yeah. But he didn't do it like the other people did it. And and a lot of coaches are upset. They did it the old way. Grandfathered in. I didn't succeed as a player, so I'm going to try to be a coach. But he succeeded as a player, and he's succeeding as a coach. And I don't know what the problem is with that. He's got experiences all around the game, from inside of it, outside of it, college, being a student athlete himself, raising student athletes themselves, and he's just been in every position. And I don't know. Yeah. That's just really easy to hate or just be envious and jealous of.
I think just the generation, man. Like, when you depending on what generation you grew up in, sometimes you hear older basketball players like, well, it wasn't like that when I was playing. They didn't call fouls. They didn't call fouls when I was playing. You couldn't even touch a player. Like, you can actually beat a dude down back in the old school NBA. And I think for regular people, older people, kind of, you used to stay at one job for 30 years. And, the job will take care of you, be loyal to you, you know what I'm saying? Reward you for your loyalty. But now it's not like that. Now it's kind of like being in the NBA or like the NFL. If you get them 3 or 4 years and you exercise your player option, you know what I'm saying? Going to free agency, you know what I'm saying?
You got to move your talent to South Beach, like LeBron. And then sometimes the older players like, man, this is not how the game goes, but it's how the game goes now.
Right, exactly.
Because ain't no way I'm a new hire and I make more than you or make the same amount as you and you've been here 20 years. Man, that don't make sense.
Boy, and it would be like this for real too.
You know what I mean? And it's cool when you're on a better end of it. Like when I'm the young buck and I'm making, you know what I mean? I come in making $23, $26 an hour. And you've been working here and you've been struggling to keep up, and they give you your raises. You know what I mean? You've had 8 raises since you've been at this job, but it just puts you at the level that I am.
Right.
It took you 8 raises to get to $26. I came in getting paid that.
Yeah, and that happens in real life too.
And it feels good to me because I came in getting paid 26.
Exactly.
But how does that make that person look? We're doing the same job, we're working the same. You got to be. And they telling him he got to be grateful because when he came in, he was making $8 an hour or $10 an hour. Right. And they can look at him. We doubled your pay. We went from 10 to 26. We doubled and a half your pay. Man, so you should be grateful. You know what I mean? So
it happened in real life. I've seen that for real.
Yeah.
So the next one is. I'm curious to see what you think about this. How much does the average person really know about politics? I'm talking about the 9 to 5 Get up at 8, go to bed, work at 9, get off 5, pick up the kids. Like, how much time does the average person really have to really learn about politics?
Local maybe seems are more attainable. Like, well, as
Even in that, though, yeah. Even
no,
in
no.
that.
I mean, I said
Yeah.
it seems. So, and then let alone the president, like, what's the electoral college? What's the popular vote? You know what I mean?
Right.
This and that. What does it mean to have a red state with a blue state? You know what I mean? What does all that stuff mean? Why is this, on the screen? What does that
Right.
represent? What's
Boy.
the definition of electoral college?
Boy,
That's just one thing. That's just one half, and we're gonna talk
That's
about it.
one layer of the onion. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, like, well, the local level, what does the mayor do day in and day out?
Boy.
What does the city manager do
Right.
day
Ward
in and
director.
day out?
Yeah, city director. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? What is a judge? You know what I mean? Well, what's the difference between a judge and a county judge and the elected,
Right.
circuit judge? You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
and what do they do all day?
Right.
What's their daily thing? You know what I mean? They not always kissing babies or saying speeches.
Yeah, because the average person, they're not even, in my opinion anyway, the average person not even thinking about politics because they trying to make sure they pay their bills and go to work. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even have time to sit down and study politics. You know what I'm saying?
But you won't, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which person is voting or supports my agenda that affect me personally? You know what I mean?
How many people really? If you're not watching the news or hearing it on the radio, how many people really have time to sit down and look at that though? It's almost like they're just voting based on their feeling, maybe because they a certain way. Like, okay, I'm a Democrat, so I'm just gonna vote this person. I'm a Republican.
Well, you gotta look what bills on the docket, what's coming up, and
sure.
then where they're gonna vote. Like, well, if I vote for him, they're gonna vote left on this bill, and then they're gonna vote right on this one. I was like, I'm gonna need the left, or I'm gonna need a yay and not a nay on this bill.
I know when I was younger,
and it's very important for women's rights. They're abolishing their rights left and right.
Bro, by the time it's gonna be men rights gonna start being abolished. But
and they can, I mean, I'm not taking a shot at anybody, but it's hard for them to establish what a woman really is by law. What is a woman?
But they supported the people who did that at the same time.
Exactly. So you don't you
create the monster.
Women's rights or this.
Yeah.
But you just voted for this person and they believe women's rights are that or this, the other way. So you got to kind of pay attention to little stuff like that.
Because, man, you think about like the person that's, working at Walmart and Amazon, you be at work so long, you don't even have time to watch. You can't even watch politics.
But that's the people like voting. The most.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
What's going to protect your factory job? What's going to get you full benefits?
Who? Oh, they say.
You know what I mean? I mean, you got to at least go with the person that's telling you they're going to make your stuff come true versus the person saying, I don't even care about your issue. You know what I mean? So you got to start somewhere.
Because living in Southwest, have you ever seen a politician in Southwest?
Well, one came to my church one time.
I ain't never seen one. I remember we went to McClellan. It was a senator.
They like to get us all together.
I bet. Sell a dream. Did he sell a dream?
Yeah.
Did he sell it, or was he good at selling the dream? Or?
One of them was a Muslim. You know what I mean? You in the Baptist
oh, what?
Church.
A Muslim politician? Are you serious? Wow.
But you can't look at him and tell like, oh well, this guy's
But he had a sandwich from Sam's. He had a Sam's sandwich with him?
No, I mean not that. I mean I don't want to be like not that kind of Muslim. I don't know what that means.
Oh man. But yeah, I always wondered about that though. Like when you think about the regular average working person, much time after the best in politics. I know they be having meetings and stuff at the community center every now and then about the local politics, and they might have like 5 people to go to this stuff. But it's like when you working every day, anytime you get this free time, do you want to divest it? I think we don't realize that. Like, do I want to divest? I got 3 hours of free time today, but you want me to come spend an hour and a half at the local politics meeting, which I'm probably not gonna forget about when I go to work tomorrow because I'll be focused on work.
But that affects you. You know what I mean?
It does. But most people feel like it's gonna happen either way, though. That's what I'm saying, though. Like the consensus, it's gonna happen either way. So, yeah. Oh, you must be texting. That's why. Okay, I see why. When you text, turn your mic off.
Oh, sorry.
When you text, it does that. Oh, okay. All right. What's the next slide? Pick one. Project Pat or Jay-Z.
How you know I'm going Project Pat all the way. It ain't even personal opinion, like personal preference. It ain't even close to me.
Yeah, it ain't even close. I mean, if it wasn't for Project Pat, that's what kept me from getting in the streets, listening to Project Pat. Think about how grimy the game is.
Getty Green,
Man,
you know what I mean?
boy, Getty Green, man, Mr. Don't Play. I think if you from the South, look at you there, Project Pat. Did you listen to Project Pat? That's funny. But if you from the South, man, Project Pat had more weight. I mean, there's some dudes from the South that like Jay-Z, but something about Project Pat though, he just had that effect. I used to bump him all the time. So from the 77 Impala.
You know, I like, you know.
That's funny.
That's Miss Gray right there.
But yeah, I like Jay-Z too, man. But yeah, he can't mess with Project Pat.
Like,
you
know, Southern music is different. We ride to a lot of music. I don't think, you know, a lot of them don't have cars. They be in the subway or whatever. You know what I mean? We got a lot of riding music. So I mean, like I say, you can remember riding around bumping Project Pat. You know, I mean, you know, I listen to Jay-Z and I appreciate the flow, and I really do appreciate the flow. You know, how he makes you think, how he puts the rhymes together, you know what I mean? But with clever rhyme schemes, good storytelling, I'm going with Project Pat.
And then when he had Getty Green, when he had the intro, North Memphis, it started off like a song instead of it being like an interlude. It just started off like a song. That beat was so cold, man. Oh man, North Memphis. Oh yeah, that was cold. That was a cold song. All right, what's the next one?
So there's 2 Project Pats.
Yeah, 2 Project Pats.
And your wife made it.
And it ain't even close. Pick one: Tin Box or Food Giant.
You know what?
It depends on where you live at too.
Exactly.
Tin Box or Food Giant. Do you live in the hood or do you live in the hood?
I think I've been in a Tin Box once. So we got to go with Food Giant for personal opinion.
Yeah, it's like, do you live in the hood or do you live in the hood? You know? I mean, Food Giant, I don't know. It's like a humbling experience when you go to Tin Box. It's a humbling experience.
Why you say that?
You know, the Pick 5, kind of like Food Giant got the Pick 5 too, right? But when you go to Tin Box, it's shit like they just shot the animal or something.
They're too fresh.
The hamburger be like got blood all in, like they just killed the animals.
Don't let me go in the back and find it. Like, what kind of
man.
But man,
that big old, you know that Family Union ice cream you buy, the big old picnic vanilla ice cream is nasty. All the stuff that you
off a little bit, you know what I mean?
It's just to give you enough to survive. It's like if you just need to survive, you go to Tin Box. They got all the deals on that kind of food.
But I feel like you got to cook they meat like quicker. Like, you know, when I go Food Giant or Pick 5, I feel like I gotta, like, if I get a steak or something like that, or roast, I gotta feel like I gotta cook it that day.
Yeah, depending on which Food Giant you go to. Like if you go to the one in the hood, yes. But if you go to you been to the one on Cantrell?
No.
The one on Cantrell, they got it all organized. The floors are clean. You may think you in a Whole Foods or something, almost. It's pretty close. Not quite there, pretty close. You know, but the one in the hood, you know, they ain't really got to the flows yet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't put all the meat out like they should. You walk in there, they still putting the stuff out. But yeah, 10 Box though do got the noodles and stuff, deal on the noodles and stuff. Like you can actually probably get, seems like you get a pallet full of noodles probably for like $8 or something. You know what I'm saying? So I go there for different stuff. I go to different ones for different stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Food Giant definitely better pick 5. But 10 Box got the little stuff like the produce. Like I said, if I want to do like the pineapples and stuff, like the real pineapple and fruit and stuff, you can get a deal on those and stuff. All right, what's the next slide? So who you going? I'm gonna go 10 Box. So you going Food Giant? I'm gonna go 10
Food
Box.
Giant.
It's a humbling experience to go 10 Box. So Fred Taylor or Jamal Lewis to play for the Ravens?
Yeah, this one is really hard for me. You know what I mean? Jamal Lewis, undeniable. You get
man,
size, strength, speed,
man.
Low agility. I mean, he'll give you that dead leg. He'll shake you. You know what I mean?
He'll run you over.
You don't want to
running you over. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think he was the more of a bust than the bust of Jerome Bettis. That's crazy. The type of speed and size he had. You know what I mean? Yeah. You expected that from Brandon Jacobs, but no, he didn't do it. No. They said that man Jamal Lewis ran a 4.4, they said. I was like, nah, that's crazy.
He was from Memphis, though. He probably did.
That's crazy. You know what I mean? No. And they was like, well, what's that dude? Henry from the Titans.
Chris Henry?
No, the running back they got now.
Yeah, they ran the 4.2. The one that ran the 4.2.
And they was like saying that he big and he big to bring down, but Jamal Lewis.
Oh no, not the one that ran the 4.2, but the one that's there now.
Yeah, the one that's there now.
Yeah.
So you may be thinking about.
See, Jamal Lewis was what, 6'1" though? 5'11", 6'1", 220. I mean, dude was like a bowling ball.
Man, dude was like he 240, 250, almost. And he running fast. Like, I didn't really see him behind.
It didn't look fast on film until you see him, but nobody catching him from behind. He running dudes over, though.
But, yeah, I think I got to go with Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor got a good stiff arm, catching out the backfield. Just a more, he had more speed on the clock.
Yeah.
But it looked similar. I love the stiff arm. He went to Florida.
He was fast. Fred Taylor was way faster than Jamal Lewis, bro.
I'm a Gators fan.
Because he was smaller, yeah.
I'm a Gators fan. I hate, you know what I mean? He spent all his years in Jacksonville. But
Greg Jones, man.
That was just, man, that's just a crazy running back. And then dude seemed like a social back. He seemed so cool. He ain't never excited. You know,
Fred Taylor.
Yeah. Dude, to be that strong, that explosive, that fast, you know what I mean? But I guess you can't get emotional like when you.
I'm gonna go Jamal Lewis though. I'm gonna go Jamal because he was the only offense the Ravens had, and they used to put in the box, and he's still running through that thing, man.
Yeah,
still getting 100 yards a game. He's still getting 100 yards a game.
Fred.
Now I like Fred though. I like freaking Fred. Don't get it twisted though. Fred Taylor was that dude though. But yeah, Jamal Lewis, man, he was like the Fred Taylor was like the fantasy running back. You wish you could get a running back like that. But Jamal Lewis was like the Carhartt, like Dickey's kind of just utility running back. He just do everything. Like
but
that,
man, you know what I mean? He got a 2,000-yard season. He got multiple 200-yard games, which that's hard. You don't really see that a lot.
With no passing.
And they loaded the box. What they do? See, like, if you're a defense, tackling Jamal Lewis is gonna hurt.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
Definitely. You're not gonna arm tackle. You're not gonna break your trying to arm tackle him. You're gonna lose that. You're gonna break your chest,
your helmet. You know what I mean? Even going low, but he got big legs. Yeah. But Fred Taylor ain't easy to tackle either. You think you're gonna get him.
That's the thing.
And then Fred Taylor was elusive. When he
elusive, man. Arm out there. It's like you see him right there. Next thing you know, he right there.
Yeah.
Like he teleported. So he right there, then he right there.
And then if you do catch him, he's still strong. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Probably gonna run you over, and then outrun
ain't-
your friend.
See,
So,
with Fred Taylor, you can't angle him out. He gonna outrun your angle. Like if you're a safety, you try to angle him, he gonna outrun the angle every time. No problem, man. You know what I'm saying?
and in the back of your mind, you don't want to catch him. So
Jamal Lewis he really looking to run you over. He wants you to come down there and hit him. Most safeties running away like I ain't even see where he was at, man. I missed that tackle. I missed that angle. I ain't see where he was at, man.
and that's the choice. Like, would you rather get
Yeah,
hit
that's
by
the
Ray
choice.
Lewis or try to tackle Jamal Lewis? You know what I mean?
Ooh. Who was the two receivers you said earlier before we got on the podcast?
Oh, Reggie Wayne and
Ocho
Chad
Cinco.
Johnson. I'm going definitely you know, from the last one I'm going Fred Taylor, but
Yeah.
with this one, I just with Chad Johnson, Ocho,
Yeah.
he's just a better showman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Reggie played longer, and he was
But he
bigger.
But he had Peyton Manning. I think if Carson Palmer would have stayed healthy, I think they really would have had something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But him losing Carson Palmer, though, I mean, it just wasn't the same, man. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe one game I would go Chad Johnson, but like for the franchise, I would definitely go Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
Because he did good in everything. He did good second receiver when Marvin was there and he was the second option. He was the best second receiver. He can get in the slot. He know all the routes on that, and then he didn't miss a beat when he had to play lead receiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just can't really walk away from that. Chad Johnson and TJ Houshmandzadeh or whoever Chad was beside, he just made a good tandem with anybody. And he just would get open. You know what I mean? He didn't have they say he didn't have the blazing speed, but he was quick. You know what I mean?
I think he was faster than what people thought he was. Yeah. I think he was faster. I think his footwork was just like he just type of dude that can run a post flag route. A lot of receivers can't run that post flag route. You know what I'm saying? He can do that.
He ended out his routes. I mean, his feet was just doing some off the.
They said he played soccer though. He said he played soccer. That's where he got his footwork from.
Yeah.
And he said he played allegedly. He said he played DB in high school, but he said they wouldn't let him. It was so many people playing DB they had switched to receiver or something like that.
And then with Reggie Wayne, he did all the right stuff. He went to the right college.
Reggie Wayne was solid, like you say. They could catch him and Marvin Harrison. They caught the ball. I mean, it's like they had. He's like when you watch a live game, I don't know if they ever dropped the ball. They probably did, but it wasn't that many times.
It really
especially
was
Marvin Harrison. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So you know what I mean? Like you see more big plays out of Chad, really getting open, big plays out of Marvin, but you just seen that just consistent catch, run after the catch,
seam routes, post routes,
with Reggie Wayne. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It didn't look as pretty, but the yards matter, stats matter. At the end of the day, touchdown matters. I don't care how flashy or how many touchdown celebrations you have. You know, Chad gonna sell the jerseys.
Yeah.
So, you know, Reggie gonna get them scores. Not saying Chad didn't score, but I was, I think I'm going Reggie, Chad for a game.
Yeah.
Reggie for the franchise. But
so, I'm trying to think, man, who's this little scat back, man? I'm trying to think. Who do you think was the fastest? Brian Westbrook or Michael Bennett for the Vikings?
Michael Bennett was faster. He had the track speed, but you can't translate that into football.
Nah, he was fast on back. Yeah, like 99 speed and run back.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But move like a train. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
He was fast.
And that's just crazy. I only seen one running back really kind of do the really high level speed besides Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, yeah.
You know, Chris Johnson though.
Yeah.
He had a long career, 200-yard games, 2,000-yard season.
Man, we should have played on a better team. Yeah, man.
You don't see backs that fast or known for their speed get 2,000. You know what I mean?
He got 2,000 yards. He did.
Yeah, 1 year. Yeah, maybe 2 years. I got to look.
Dude was fast.
Because there was somebody was having an argument who was the best Titan running back, Henry, Eddie George, or Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson had the 2,000-yard seasons. You know what I mean? That
Eddie
belied
George,
his
though,
speed.
man. God, Eddie George, that dude, man, insane, man.
You know, you gotta.
It's like hitting the Silverado. Do you want to try to tackle the Silverado truck coming at you, man? In third gear. In third gear. 2,100 RPM coming at you, man. He gonna try to hit you, separate your shoulder, trying to. What did you say? It was like 6'3"?
6'3",
240 or something?
something like yep.
Man. Him and Ray Lewis, man, knocking each other brains out, man.
You imagine, man, hitting that dude and he fall on you and he falling forward for another 3 yards every time.
Every time, man. Him and Steve McNair. Steve McNair was about 220, 232, wasn't he? Going that thing.
260.
He'll run you over too, man. Yeah. So what do you think about the NFL so far, man? What you think about it this year?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Your boy Carr got wrecked already.
Like some teams showing you what they was cooking in the lab. Like Dolphins came out, they're talking about all this potential on paper, what we really gonna do if everybody get healthy. They put up 70.
Man, 70.
Two running backs, I think, had 200 yards.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill, the best receiver, hands down, best receiver in the game right now. Ain't nobody better.
One running back had 4 touchdowns. The other running back had 4 touchdowns. You can't really hold Tyreek.
Man, they took the starters out. They probably could have scored like 80 or 100 if they wanted to.
Yeah, they said dude said he's not gas. He said he's gonna let him keep that record.
Man,
and then Sean Payton said, they talk about Coach Prime talking stuff, but Sean Payton was talking about the coach a couple of maybe like last year.
Let me tell you something. I think
then he put 70 on you.
I think Sean Payton, in my opinion, Sean Payton is very overrated. I think he was at the right place at the right time, and the team got the right players for him at that time. Because after them players aged out, he never really got to that place again. Because he had Reggie Bush, he had Drew Brees. Who they have at receiver? Joe Horn. They had a squad.
They had Horn, Emmanuel, they had Colston, Martin. They made Marquise Colston. The guy, they had Jimmy Graham at tight end, I think.
Yeah, then they had Darren Sharp on defense. Man, that was cold, man. That was a cold team they had put together. They won a Super Bowl with, man. But after that, though, nah. Didn't even get close, man. Then they got a cold when the Vikings beat them that time. But
I think when you got a quarterback that understands the offense and understands other defense like Drew Brees, it's kind of easier to coach. And, when you lose that quarterback and you kind of get exposed.
Drew Brees was a pure pocket passer, too. You know what I'm saying?
Drew Brees can move a little bit. You know what I mean? He can
so his vision, the way he passed the ball, he knew how to throw a receiver open with anticipation and stuff. A lot of quarterbacks don't know how to do it. I'm noticing that a lot of quarterbacks don't do that.
How to throw in the middle of the field.
Thread a needle, yes.
So he can throw
for sure.
Deep downfield on the seam. It don't have to be a fly on the outside. Just knife it between the safeties, you know what I mean? So deep ends and stuff like that. So he could do that. So, but
I'm noticing a lot of quarterbacks don't have that skill. Like Peyton Manning could do that. Drew Brees could do that. I'm trying to think of another quarterback. Dan Marino definitely did that. Joe Montana, players like that. Even Tom Brady, he used to do that sometimes too. Throw receivers open and stuff.
Yeah, and definitely with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He rolled out. Boy. And then, like Tariq can be on the other side of the field and then drag across and he'll hit him on the side. He hit Travis Kelce anywhere in the middle of the field.
Anywhere.
You know what I mean?
Anywhere.
Between the hashes, he can hit Travis Kelce in the ankle. He can hit him up high. And he's doing this wild roll in the pocket when the pocket collapsed. And it's just crazy. And that he's still doing it. They know he's going to do it.
You imagine they still had Tyreek Hill on
the team. My God. That was,
man.
That would be
cheating. I think he's better in Miami. I think he's better in Miami, though, man.
The Miami weather do something for you. But with his confidence going to that team with Tua quarterback, Tua really feeling himself with the team. They feel like that. even though they kind of know names on a lot of the guys, you know what I mean, they don't have these backs that you want. They got Tyreek Hill and then Waddle. Everybody's stepping up. You know what I mean? And they're running their offense efficiently.
Tyreek Hill is what, 5'10"?
Yeah.
Well, out there like he Randy Moss. He out there mossing dudes up, man. He caught a fade route.
Because he'd be so far away with the separation.
No, the corner was right there on him. When he played against the Chargers, the corner was on him. Yeah. He snatched it from him, man.
But you still got, like you said, you still got to be able to catch.
Yeah, you still got to be able to catch. Yeah.
He ran like deep post or deep drag. And he just dragged it across the field. Most of the time, he'd be by himself.
Yeah, they ran a Denver. They ran a double post route, and he ran a little bit above Waddle, I think, and came across. And he was wide open because they doubled the other receivers wide open. You don't never leave dude open, ever. I tell my DB, I don't care who on the other side of you. You do not leave Tyreek Hill open. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for Surtain, man. I don't know if he held Tyreek Hill at one point, but I feel bad. I'm like, man, I hate that for Surtain, man. That's a bad day on defense, man. That's a bad day.
And then, like, you know what I mean? Like, Russell Westbrook was a Pro Bowl quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he's like
Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Russell Wilson. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and he's looking like.
You think Russell Wilson days are kind of numbered, man?
I mean, of course, he's on hot seat. You know what I mean? But I don't know what they're seeing in practice. You know what I mean? What's he saying?
I don't think they like Coach Payton, man. I don't know. So I think they don't like Payton, man. I don't think they responded to him. The Electrics go 70, man, with a defense. They was a top 10 defense, bro. Yeah. They was only giving up like 16 points a game or something like that. And for them to give up 70, I mean, I know Miami offense is good. I'm not taking that away from them at all, but it seemed like they kind of gave up after their 4th or 5th touchdown. They was like, man, what in the world is going on?
You still got to fight. You know what I mean? But even if the defense give up, offense, you got to still try to have some pride and try to make something work.
Yeah. Boy, that'll be so nice if they played against the Chiefs, man, for the AFC Championship, and they beat the Chiefs, man. Woo,
that'll be a game.
Woo. Boy, ain't nobody on the Chiefs that can hold time. Ain't nobody.
But, you know, maybe they know maybe they got a game plan against him. They practiced against him.
You can't game plan against him, man. Man, dude just beat you run the fly route.
Listen. I learned this. Anybody can be game planned against because the New York Giants, sorry selves, held Randy Moss down in the Super Bowl. I think they can get to Tua, when it counts. I think they'll beat them. I
don't even think they game plan. I just think that Tom Brady scored a little too fast, gave them the ball with too much time. Because you remember he caught that ball on his helmet or something like that, was it?
Yeah.
The only person I seen game plan against Randy Moss was Bill Belichick when Randy Moss was playing for the Raiders. And he had some kind of weird prevent defense where he had like three safeties over the top in the corner. He's like, you're not going to beat us at all today.
But they got to make everybody else seem sorry. Like, I mean, they got basically 3 people. They got to try.
Remember that game? I think we watched that game. It was like, what? He running prevent in the first.
He had a triangle defense. Man. He ran the triangle defense on him, man. But I think they'll beat them. They'll beat them in the regular season, but their playoff chip will come in and they'll get out coached in the Super Bowl or the division title. But other teams like Dallas, week to week, you don't know who they look like. What is their identity? You know what I mean?
Like I say, Dak doesn't have that skill to throw a receiver. The receiver has to be open. That's what it seemed like to me when I be watching. The receiver has to be wide open for it to throw it to him. Like, can he throw an out route? That's what I'm saying. Like, when you throw an out route, you don't throw an out route when he open. You have to throw it before he get there. I don't think Dak comfortable to do that kind of passing. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I said about their first win. Didn't really tell you nothing about the team, especially the offense. And they talking about, well, this is the doomsday defense. This defense is going to be the best defense. This like the Ravens defense. Like, It's 3. We haven't played enough games.
And then you
And
let
then
the
they get
dude.
beat by the Cardinals.
They said the quarterback was like a part-time. He worked at NASA part-time or so, like he wasn't even a full-time quarterback.
And he just came
let
in
him
and beat all like that.
He let him rock his house. Hey, what's name better be careful, man. Hope you don't lose. I know they paying him a lot of money, man. They mess around and trade him, man. What's that dude name? The little baseball player? What's my boy name? Kyler Murray?
Yeah.
You better be careful, man. Dawg playing. He playing solid too.
You know, and then
I
it's
don't know
like
who they running.
San Francisco, they're supposed to be all as good, but then you don't know what the Purdy gonna do. They doing
Man, that
good.
defense, boy, playing lights out, boy. You got a D line, a defense like that, man. Probably got the best middle line back in the game, man. Well, they said he back there like the he back there like the predator, looking at thermals, nigga. Whoa! Just see you through the big gap. He coming. He coming through that big gap, knocking you out, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if they'll come out the NFC. It seems like they probably could be coming out the NFC though. The 49ers though, man.
Oh, for sure.
Probably remind me of Jake Plummer, man. That's who they wanted. A Jake Plummer. Kind of running back. That's what he kind of remind me of. But yeah, guys, pretty get ready to sign out this thing, man. We just wanted to come by and record our podcast, work on our live game. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Check us out on our media on our other channels if you make the clips. Anything you want to say before we sign out?
Hey, thank y'all for hanging out with us.
Yes, thank you for hanging out with us. And we are signing out.